Have you ever felt the quiet, heavy pain of knowing you're right, but being completely alone in that truth? It's a loneliness that few people talk about, but it's real. The pain of living by your principles, holding on to what you know is true, and finding yourself standing apart from the crowd. Islam doesn't just acknowledge this pain, it honors it. The Quran and the lives of the prophets are filled with stories of those who endured this exact struggle with unwavering patience and faith. Allah gives us a crucial reminder in the Quran. And if you obey most of those upon the earth, they will mislead you from the way of Allah. This verse is powerful. It tells us from the very beginning that truth has never been a popularity contest. In fact, it's often the opposite. The truth is demanding, it can be uncomfortable, and following it often comes at a great cost. The path of righteousness isn't always lined with cheering crowds. Sometimes, it's a solitary walk. Think about the story of Prophet Ibrahim. Peace be upon him. He was born into a society steeped in idol worship. Even his own father was an idol maker. Imagine being a young man and realizing that everything your family, your friends, and your entire community believes in is fundamentally wrong. Ibrahim didn't just keep this realization to himself. He had the courage to speak out against it. And what was his reward? Was it applause? Was it understanding? No. His reward was isolation, rejection, and ultimately, being condemned to be thrown into a blazing fire by his own people. He was utterly alone in his stand for truth. But was he truly alone? Allah tells us what happened next. They intended for him harm, but we made them the greatest losers. In that moment of ultimate isolation, when the entire world was against him, Allah was with him. Ibrahim stood alone against a nation, but he was never abandoned by his Creator. This is a profound lesson for every believer who feels isolated. This pain of being right and alone often stems from a sense of loss. We lose companionship. We lose the comfort of fitting in. We lose that sense of belonging that every human being craves. Islam teaches us that this pain is not without purpose. It's a powerful test of our sincerity. Are we truly living for the pleasure of Allah, or are we secretly seeking the approval and acceptance of people? When you choose what is right over what is popular, you are making a clear statement about who you are truly trying to please. We see this struggle again so clearly in the life of Prophet Noah. Peace be upon him. Can you imagine his experience? He preached the message of truth to his people, not for a year, not for a decade, but for centuries. For 950 years, he called them to salvation, and in all that time, only a handful of people believed him. Imagine the profound loneliness of that mission. Waking up every single day, year after year, century after century, to face mockery, dismissal, and scorn from the very people you were trying to save. He was labeled a madman, a liar. His own family, his own son, turned against him. Yet, how does Allah describe him? Does Allah focus on the small number of his followers? No. Allah honors him by saying, "Indeed, he was a grateful servant." His success wasn't measured by the size of his following. His success was measured by his unwavering faithfulness to the mission Allah gave him. This teaches us a vital lesson. In the eyes of Allah, success is not about numbers. It's about our commitment and our gratitude, even when we feel utterly alone. Even the great prophet Musa, or Moses, peace be upon him, knew this isolation intimately. He was sent to stand against the most powerful, arrogant ruler of his time, Pharaoh. He went with nothing but a staff in his hand and a message from Allah in his heart. He was one man against an empire, but the isolation didn't just come from his enemies. Later, even after witnessing incredible miracles, his own people, the children of Israel, questioned him, doubted him, and complained incessantly. He was leading them to freedom, yet he faced resistance from both his enemies and his own community. In his moments of fear and doubt, when facing the tyranny of Pharaoh, what did Allah tell him? "Fear not, indeed, I am with you both. I hear and I see." This divine reassurance is everything. The feeling of being right can feel so heavy when there's no one standing beside you, no one to validate your struggle. But this verse reminds us that Allah's presence, His hearing, His seeing, outweighs all the human support in the world. And of course, our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, knew this pain, perhaps more intimately than anyone. In the early days in Makkah, He was an outcast in his own city. He was called a liar, a madman, a poet, a magician. The very people who once called him the trustworthy now turned their backs on him. Friends became enemies. Family members rejected his message. Imagine walking through the streets of your hometown, the place you grew up, with the most profound truth in your heart, but facing nothing but ridicule and hostility. That is the essence of loneliness on the path of truth. Yet, how did Allah comfort him? He didn't promise him instant popularity. He told him, "So be patient over what they say, and remember our servant Daud." Patience was the prescription. Patience was not just encouraged. It was commanded and it was honored. The path was difficult, but the divine instruction was to endure with beautiful patience, knowing that Allah's plan was unfolding. Now, in our own lives, this pain might not look as dramatic as being thrown into a fire or facing a tyrant. It often appears in quieter, more subtle ways. It's choosing honesty in a business deal when dishonesty is rewarded with profit. It's upholding your Islamic values of modesty and dignity when society around you mocks them. It is refusing to compromise your faith just to gain acceptance or to fit in with a particular group. Each of these moments can feel isolating. They can make you feel like an outsider. But these are the very moments that polish the soul and elevate our status with Allah. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, gave us a beautiful prophecy that speaks directly to this feeling. He said, "Islam began as something strange, and will return to being strange, so give glad tidings to the strangers." Who are these strangers? They are the ones who hold fast to their faith when it's inconvenient. They are the ones who feel out of place in a world that has drifted far from divine guidance. To be strange in this context is a badge of honor. It means you are being faithful when faithfulness is rare. So if you feel like a stranger, take comfort in these glad tidings. Islam teaches us that this loneliness on the path of truth is a temporary state. Allah does not leave the believer in that state of pain forever. He replaces that loss with something far greater, something more lasting. He replaces the loss of worldly companionship with inner peace, with a profound sense of divine closeness, and with the promise of an eternal reward that far outweighs the temporary struggles of this life. Allah promises us in the Quran, "Indeed, Allah is with those who are patient." This isn't just a comforting phrase, it's a divine promise. When you choose to be patient in your loneliness, when you choose to stand for truth even when it hurts, you are inviting the companionship of Allah Himself. And what companionship could be better than that? Think about it this way. Being right and feeling alone certainly hurts. There's no denying that pain. But being wrong and accepted by the crowd is infinitely more dangerous. That path leads to misguidance and loss in the long run. The temporary comfort of fitting in is not worth sacrificing the eternal truth. In the end, every believer who walks this lonely path learns a profound and beautiful lesson. Standing with the truth means you are never ever truly alone, even if it feels like the entire world has turned its back on you. Your sense of isolation is an illusion. The reality is that you are in the best possible company. Because when Allah stands with you, no crowd is ever needed. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more reflections. Peace be with you.